watched Ward Churchill being interviewed by Eddie Conway on the Real News Network channel on YouTube. I can't embed the video in my blog or on Live Leaks, so I decided just to shoot a picture of that and provide a link to you. They talk about COINTELPRO, past. It is a program that's, or something like it, that's currently in use by your local town hall, local police, state police, FBI, etc., to go after citizens. And it's just beyond disgusting. When you're targeted for being, it used to be if you were a communist, socialist, in a union, outspoken, of certain religious groups, or just were of a minority that the majority didn't want, then you could be on a list and they go after you. Ward Churchill and Eddie Conway talk about the history. It's a very interesting video. I encourage you to take a look at it. I'll provide a link, as I said. But when I lived in Stafford Springs, Connecticut, prior to 9/11, I found out that if you're on the crime watch or you initiate a crime watch for the town, you can be put on the list. Even more alarming is if you are talking to a priest or a religious leader in your town. I'm assuming that the program was nationwide, even prior to 9/11. The clergy is supposed to turn you in to police. They allegedly were paid to inform on their own flock. Who's a potential leader if the Constitution no longer exists? Who's politically active? Who wants to reduce taxes in town? Something as simple as wanting to pay less taxes can put you on the list. Or if you're a man that has a nice-looking girlfriend, nice-looking wife, nice-looking daughter, and a police officer, probation officer, some sort of official wants somebody that you're considered cock blocking, you can end up in prison, your property gone. They figure out ways to go after your driver's license. I mean, it's beyond disgusting, and this should not exist. Talk to a religious leader, and you have to worry about losing everything, and they're going to turn you in. The religious leaders I talk to, they're very, very afraid. They're afraid of the police going after them, or worse, getting beaten up, having their finances looked into, having their reputations slandered. That's a police operation as far as slandering you within your family, friends, get your job. They can just go and get you fired from a job. COINTELPRO. It's a disgusting part of American history that's still part. When I lived in Stafford Springs, I had met a woman in Lithuania. We eventually got married. We got a house, and the police officer didn't like me talking about reducing taxes, voting. I was threatened with arrest for voting. We're talking about, there's a Tea Party in Stafford Springs. They call them a Tea Party. Probably no affiliation to the Tea Party that's, the one that we know of now. It's probably something different. We're just talking about meeting over at Staffordville Lake. And I was told I could be killed. I could be arrested. They could cause my divorce. I could lose my child, my daughter, or never talk to her again, lose my business for voting. And this was America pre 9/11. And a police officer told me that my wife should be with a police officer, not me, because as a contractor, I should only make $10 per hour. I shouldn't have a nice house. Shouldn't have anything. He should have my wife, and he would call my father and rat me out. What? I mean, he didn't use that to, I'm assuming, to talk about. He probably had some other way to slander me with my father, cause problems. And I'm estranged from my father and my daughter, and I ended up getting divorced. after he falsely arrested me after a big cocaine dealer bit my ear, punched me in the face several times, and I faced 1.5 years in jail for that offense because the officer, Fat Frank Prochaska, basically had witnesses make up stuff. So, well, anyway, that's that story. But the COINTELPRO, it's through the police, the town. You can be assessed higher taxes or have to register vehicles in multiple towns just to keep your plates. Pay higher than normal taxes. Get bogus tax bills, which I did. $160,000 bill from Connecticut saying that my painting business made millions of dollars in 3 months. Me working myself painting is, and they sent it to the wrong address, and that if it wasn't paid, they were going to take my houses. They tried to set me up for a DUI using a honey trap, and I didn't fall for it. They tried to get women. This is after they caused my divorce. I was told no dating, not allowed to date. So police can not protect and serve anyone on the list. You call 911, maybe they show up an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, if at all. They're not allowed to take any sort of reports. And in my case, they were watching vandals break in my house, and they were lookouts for thieves breaking into my house, stealing stuff. So the police were basically part of the crime problem, and they ran the teen gangs. And you have judges like Chase T. Rogers. She's up for reappointment in Connecticut for being reconfirmed for Supreme Court Justice. She initiated a survey of how well the court system and judicial branch is doing in Connecticut, and she pulled lawyers, not the people that are having their families broken up and people that are just barbecued in courts and just ripped off. And she's just a disgusting elitist and should not be reconfirmed in Connecticut. So if you live in Connecticut or know somebody in Connecticut, you should do something, say something about getting rid of this judge. That's a real piece of work. I'll leave a link to this. But if you are on the list, you won't get served in small claims court, or they'll rule against you. In criminal court, they'll barbecue you the worst they can, and even put you in prison. That happened to me. I got attacked on my own property, and I lost my daughter, my contracting business, everything, my houses, just on lies that the police told, lies that the police had witnesses, coerced into telling. Prosecutor would not allow me any deals. Keith Courier, I evicted a prostitute that was giving him blowjobs, so he and I had a talk before I evicted her, and said I would be arrested and go to prison for arresting a prostitute that had been giving him blowjobs. So, nice guy. And so I wouldn't get any kind of deals for being attacked on my own property. And then the judge told me Judge Kaplan, that I was guilty and going to prison because I couldn't get any deals before the trial. So it was just, I heard the railroad whistle, ended up in prison. And this is what COINTELPRO is. Small business owner, you're self-employed, you can be turned into COINTELPRO. They don't want self-employed. It's basically you on Agenda 21. If a corporation or a bank's not involved, or a billionaire or some sort of organized crime is involved in any kind of transaction or anything you're doing, then they'll go after you. If you're a gun owner, they want you basically in prison, your family broken up, everything. Homeowners, they're breaking up the families. They offer money to, I saw it on monster.com, where they offer money to people for the state of Connecticut to turn people in to have their kids taken away. So if you're getting some sort of percentage, reward, commission for wrecking families, then you're just going to lie. And so more people are through the courts. They want to take your house, they want to break up your family, they want to wreck your life, and they're wrecking America, and they're getting away with it. What are you going to do about it?